I almost forfeited my assignment because I was operating under the spirit of comparison. I had frustration and anger towards my husband because I felt like majority of the responsibility with the children fell on me. Majority of the responsibility around the house fell on me. God reminded me of a few things because I started to have this vision, and this is how God talks to me. I don't know how he talks to you, but this is how he talks to me. He talks to me in visions because I'm a visionary. And he showed me this vision of me sitting around these wives, and it was this man who was like at the head of the table. It was like he was the moderator of this conversation. And out of my frustration, I looked over at one of the wives and I said, "Does your husband help you with the kids?" And he stopped her, and the man wouldn't let her answer. I'm like, well, I want to hear her answer. And he said, you're not going to hear her answer, because if she tells you, yes, he does, then you're going to get anger and strife towards your spouse because you're going to compare him and think that he's not enough. If you look over to the other lady and she tells you, no, he doesn't help, then you are going to get peace about what he doesn't do. And what God showed me was your peace should not come from what somebody else's husband does or doesn't do, or how someone else's house is wired. And this extends far beyond children. God showed me there's a danger in comparison because the way that I set up your house is the way that I ordained for it to be. So you can look at other people and gain their perspective of their families and think that that's the one that I have for yours. But I need you to seek me for my perspective of how your family is set up.
Talking about positives, right? If we're talking about positives, I can simply say that she's taking accountability, right? We can sit here and say that sis is taking accountability, being that a lot of your women can't see their wrongdoings, right? A lot of you women can't see the wrongdoings, so much so that it's gotten to the point where they done turn 100 men versus a gorilla to 100 women versus accountability, right? And to some degree, I would say to some degree, she passed the test. Now, I know some people gonna say, well, dang, I mean, I know for a lot of women, they're gonna say, well, she sat here and took accountability. Okay, once again, there's always steps to this stuff, right? There's always steps to this stuff, if you ask me. Now, the story sounds great and all, right? The story sounds great and all, but did you really interpret it that way? Did you really take out what you really needed to take out of that vision that you claim to have? I don't think so, right? I don't think so. And the reason being is because, number one, she talks about the divine order, right? Now, let's kind of talk about her vision. She says that in her vision that, hey, a man or God, this is how God spoke to her. They're at a table full of women, just him at the head of the table, right? So I'm guessing he's supposed to be playing a role of the Most High, and you're a part of the table. You trying to talk to a woman, and she's not answering you because he is pretty much making that happen. Hey, look, she's not going to talk to you because essentially you're just trying to get an answer to validate how you feel. And then you ask another woman, right? Ain't answering because, hey, guess what? You're going to try to ask her something, hopefully that she answered to validate how you feel. So out of all of that, she comes up with, well, you know what? The Most High telling me that, hey, I should not be comparing myself to other marriages. When I honestly think even then that's still wrong, right? That's still wrong. It should go without saying, man, that any woman would need a man who protects, who provides, who takes care of the woman, right? I mean, that all falls in the same category, who can raise his children, and who's going to be a leader. That should go without saying, right? That should go without saying. And I think 9 times out of 10, if we ask any woman here in America, if you say, hey, are these good traits and qualities that men should have? Every woman would tell you yes. And that is what a woman will shoot for, right? Okay. Now, if that's the case, and we got the divine order, she brings up the fact that, the divine order is man is Most High, man, then woman, then children. If I go out here and my relationship is falling to pieces or whatnot, and I go see Morris Chestnut and his wife, like let's put as a man, let's put yourself in the woman's shoes. You go over here and you go see Morris Chestnut or some flourishing marriage, right? Because you can always take good things out of everything that you see, right? I see their marriage, I see it's flourishing. My marriage is not flourishing or whatnot. I go look to this man, I'm like, bro, he is really being treated like a king. That's how I want to be treated. Why can't I be treated like that? Then you come to find out this man is on his job. Yeah, guess what? Hey, guess what? His wife is not working or anything, but He as a man is taking care of the household. He as a man is being a leader. He as a man is making sure that household is run. He's taking care of his kids. He's doing all of this stuff. If me comparing myself to that and I don't get anything out of that, then obviously that means, okay, once again, there's an issue with me, right? There's an issue with me. She's saying, hey, well, listen, you can't compare yourself to other relationships. Yes, you can, right? You need to compare yourself to other relationships, because if other relationships are following a divine order, which this sister is not, so how do you really think you're going to be able to grow? And this is why I say I feel like she still kind of missed the mark, because, man, you were never following a divine order. And I still don't think you're going to follow the divine order, being that you're saying that, well, you know what, hey, every relationship is going to be different. Yes, maybe financially, but overall, if all women are looking for a man who, once again, is a provider who can take care of her, once again, you're looking for the necessities. Can this man lead? Can this man provide? Can this man make sure that I'm good? That make sure that all his family is good? Whether he's making $60K to $100K, it does not matter, right? You got to live under that man's means, right? But as long as he's doing what he's supposed to do as a man, that's all that matters. Sis don't want to follow the divine order, right? By simply saying, well, why is he having to do less and I'm having to do more, when he's probably doing way more? But because you're women, she's probably comparing herself to marriages such as these celebrities. Of course you're going to get that. Well, why do I have to sit here and cook and clean? You're probably trying to follow a Cardi B and Offset marriage, right? When they were first dating. Well, you know, man, I shouldn't have to cook. I shouldn't have to clean. I shouldn't have to do none of this, right? Comparing yourself to marriages that do not follow the divine order. Maybe he's trying to say you are idolizing the wrong people. You are idolizing the wrong marriages. Because if you think about it, your vision shows that a bunch of women are all at one table. One man is at the head of the table, and he has the power to tell these women, you ain't going to be sitting over here talking to this woman, because all she's trying to do is just get some validation for her piss poor behavior. That's divine order, man. And guess what? The women are following the man. Hey, sis, I ain't saying nothing because he's telling me not to say anything. Divine order. You freaking follow your man. And the girl is so feminized, she doesn't even see that. She just sees that I don't want to, well, I can't compare myself to other marriages, other people. When really, realistically, you might need to do that, but with the right people. No, once again, this is why you have a village. You can compare yourself to a bunch of people in your village. Once again, if you go to a church and you have a bunch of ministers, why do you think they hold such a high position? With your priests and overseers and ministers and all these, why do you think they hold a higher position? Why do you think they just can't go out here and just go spread their seed and just go F whoever they want to? They hold a high position, right? And the reason they hold a high position is because this is somebody who you want to model yourself after. And if the priest has a wife or whatnot, why do you think a lot of their relationships last? Why do you think a lot of their relationships hold a lot of power? Because once again, they are looked at differently than everybody else. So I would think you would want to compare yourself to that relationship. They are exuding the behavior that the Most High wants everybody in the world to exude. Because once again, no matter what relationship, no matter what marriage you jump into, the foundation will always be the same. Man works, man provides, woman follows the man. She does everything else around the household. She take care of the household. She take care of the kid. And that's it. No matter what relationship or marriage you jump into, that is the divine order. But she doesn't see it that way. She's saying, I don't want to compare myself to other marriages, other relationships. Or maybe you're just comparing yourself to the wrong marriages and to the wrong relationships, because the right marriage will lead you in the right path. But the thing is, see, if, and as she stated in her vision, if she is cleaning the dishes, doing all of this stuff that a lot of your women hate doing around the house, then that might validate your reason as to why you feel the way that you feel. And if she doesn't, then you're going to be saying, well, that's how I should be feeling. I don't want to have to sit over here and deal with a man where I have to clean up everything around the house. Man, that's not the divine order, man. That's not the divine order. Look at these comments. Her religion is killing brain cells. She was on the right track till her visions. Her husband should not be helping her. It's his responsibility to not help, as if it's her duty alone. She needs to get that first. She didn't make those babies on her own. He has a whole responsibility and duty towards his children. And even while he has a day job, his evening job is his children and family, right? So then somebody else says, this is pretty deep, very interesting perspective. Then somebody else says the seers are so unnecessary. Then somebody else says you have to go tell the men you are marrying, having children with your needs, period. Then somebody else says accountability is wisdom. Then somebody else says she is right. Gotta spell that right or spell that correctly. But he goes on to say, you can't compare your household to someone else's. What works for you works for you. But once again, if everybody following the divine order, a marriage will always work. A marriage will always work. If it's outside of that, a marriage won't work, right? And you're just kind of just going off of the deep end and going off of what the society expects a relationship should be like. And that's what a lot of your people are doing today. So where you're seeing a lot of your women who are like feminists, oh, I don't believe in traditional roles, I don't do this, I don't do that. But somehow somebody have a boyfriend, they're not following the divine order, and that relationship always fails. That's just a fact. It always fails. So then somebody else says, my God, this is it. Love it, love it, love it. Then somebody else says, speaker on. Wow. Then somebody else says, that's right. Then somebody else says, women, the only person who ever talked and walked with God is missed, honey. But I get it. All I have to do is go to the word of God and seek to do duty of a wife and vice versa. Then somebody else says, go talk to your pastor. Stop guessing. Then somebody else says, go talk to your pastor. Stop guessing what God is trying to tell you. I'm guessing you're afraid what your pastor is going to say, right? That's another thing, right? That's another thing. A lot of your women like to misinterpret what a message is, misinterpret the Bible, misinterpret damn near every damn thing just to fit how they feel. And that's why I said I still feel like she kind of missed it. She still missed the mark. It's all about duty, not about you comparing yourself to another marriage. It's all about duty. Are you doing, because at the end of the day, like I said, if you look at a marriage, if you look at a successful marriage, you will see that everybody is following their duties. That's the divine order. Not sitting over here running around comparing yourself. That's that modern day women stuff. And they always end up just like this, end up losing out on a great man, and they don't want to get it until after the fact. When, once again, if you stop having this type of mindset that gender roles are bad and that, oh, well, men need to follow me and this, that, and the third, your relationship will last better. There's just certain things you have to compromise, and there's certain things you're just going to have to sacrifice. And that means you're going to have to be up in that kitchen, cleaning up the crib. That's your duty. That's your role, and that's your duty to the household, to the family. But once again, women are trying to gravitate away from that. And then they want to sit over here and say stuff like this. Oh, well, a guy told me, man, not to compare myself. When the guy's really telling you, follow your duties. If you do your duties, you don't have to sit here and worry about this stuff. Every day ain't gonna be cookies and cream. Every day ain't gonna be cookies and cream. Every day you come up in the crib, it ain't gonna be, oh my gosh, I'm so happy that they made the house dirty and now I got to clean it up. No, there's gonna be times you're gonna be mad. You might be mad for a whole week straight. That's still your duty. I'm obligated to go to work. It's still my duty at the end of the day because I got bills I got to pay. Well, guess what? You got a man that you have to take care of. You got kids you got to take care of. And that is your obligation to the family. But once again, you want to keep going away from that. This is what happens. And you're still going to miss it. But that's just my opinion. Do me a huge favor. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know down below. What do you guys think?